annual convention of the Redeemed Christian Church of God. The theme, Beyond Expectation. And indeed, God has been confirming His word. It has been a wonderful time here at the Redemption City since yesterday when the convention started. Of course, the convention started yesterday with the graduation ceremony of the Redeemed Christian Bible College and Redeemers International Leadership Academy. Yes, it was a great time in God's presence. And today is the day too. So today started with the ordination of the deacons, deaconesses, and assistant pastors. Yes, of course, we were at the arena earlier to interview some of the ordinants, and it was indeed a wonderful time. They were really excited and ready for the new level of assignment that God has given to them. My name is Shayo John Adebayo, and we're here in the studio. I'm not here alone. We're privileged to have one of the newly ordained assistant pastors with us in the studio, and it's a great honor to have him with us here today. It's not a person, but a pastor, Alaka, Kayode. Right, so it's a great honor to have him with us today. You're very welcome, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yes, so you have been ordained as an assistant pastor in the Redeemed Christian Church of God. So how do you feel about this new assignment and this new promotion?
Glory to God. I want to bless the name of the Lord for the privilege that we have to be one of the ordinees for this year's 71st annual convention. It's indeed a great privilege that I personally do not take for granted, and I want to return all the glory to the Most High God.
What are the measures put in place to really check? Is there a way that some of these things are being revealed, maybe in the course of the trainings, or how is it being checked to know, okay, this person is truly a pastor or truly deserves this new position? I don't know if you get the question.
Of course, there are criteria for an average person that is probably expected to have gotten to the level of an assistant pastor in the Redeemed Christian Church of God. By the grace of God, one of them, number one, is holiness. It is expected that holiness is non-negotiable. You must be a role model for others, for a lot of people. It must be evident in you, in your personal and spiritual dealings, that you are living a lifestyle of holiness. It's very, very important. Then number two is dedication. Because it's a major criteria. It's not just a role for sure. It's not a position for like, I've attained assistant pastor, I've attained pastors in the Redeemed, I've attained deaconesses. There are assignments that must have been committed to your hands. You must have been tested severally with several assignments that have been committed to your hands. For instance, some of us, started as house fellowship leaders, Sunday school teachers, youth presidents, and I've crisscrossed virtually almost all the departments in the Redeemed Christian Church, probably except the ushering department and the choir department. So, and in all those departments, we must have been tested and found worthy, fit into that role. So, of course, there are criteria: holiness, dedication to duties, and probably also years of service.
Glory be to God. Well, I like the way it was really detailed. You gave a detailed explanation, and one thing you said that I want to draw attention to is the part that, the person must have been tested over the years. It does not just emerge. It must have been, serving in different departments, character tests, and all of these things. And I also believe that apart from going through the necessary trainings, there's also the place of recommendation.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Of course. It goes a long way because your leaders must be able to vouch for your characters, and they must be able to recommend you, because if anything goes wrong along the line, those that recommended you might be held liable. So it's very, very important that your leaders must recommend you. In fact, before you could attain a deacon in the Redeemed Christian Church of God, it must have come through the recommendation of your senior pastors. Ditto for an assistant pastor and also a full pastor. So recommendation is very essential. Nobody cannot just come from nowhere and say they want to attain these responsibilities or this role without the recommendation of your spiritual leader. And before your spiritual leader could have recommended you, as I've said, you must have been tested severally. Some of us have been sent as a deacon, have been sent out to go and pastor a parish. Some of us were sent out just with our wives and children. And over the years, to the glory of God, we have been able to turn the numbers around, and we have a church, or a place that we could call a church right now. So seeing the progress that we have made in those years, gave them the confidence to actually recommend us again for this next position. And with this next position that they have recommended us for, goes with a lot of responsibilities.
Yes.
If you have been doing a few numbers before, your numbers have to be increased. If you have been pastoring a smaller church, you might be given an opportunity to pastor a bigger church, because definitely your duties and responsibility has increased. Then also, in the Redeemed Christian Church of God, you need to attain a certain level for you to be able to probably join people together in wedding, for you to be able to conduct certain services.
These are things that many people do not know.
Yes, yeah, there are a lot of things like Holy Communion, for you to be able to give the Holy Communions. So with this, you can be able to start doing some of those things that you are not able to do before as deacons. As deacons or deaconesses, maybe your duty initially was just to serve the Holy Communion. They give you the trade to serve the Holy Communion. That might be the end of it, but at this level now, you'll be able to go further. You are able to preach in any gathering. You are able to join husband and wives together. You are able to conduct burial service. Now you have moved to another level in the work of, because with the few that you have been tested with, now they can now guarantee that, okay, if given these new opportunities, they be sure that we will not fail. So the place of recommendation is very, very essential.
Wow.
The Redeemed Christian Church of God.
Wow, thank you so much, Pastor, for this detailed explanation. Even I've been enlightened myself, and we give God all the glory. So before I let you go, this is the annual convention,
Yes,
and
sir.
the theme is Beyond Expectation.
Mm.
And like I've said on this show since the program started, that God does not just give a theme if it does not have a purpose. God, one of our fathers in the Lord will say, God says whatever He means, and He means whatever He says. So what can you say about this theme, and what do you think God is up to in the lives of His people, particularly such a time as this, that globally we have different challenges, economic challenges, and God is still saying, I want to give you beyond expectation. What do you think God is up to?
I think one of the things our Father in the Lord told us yesterday at the ministers' conference is that He does not just come up and give a topic or themes for the convention. That the theme for this year's convention has been revealed to Him since last year.
Wow.
That He has told us, God has told Him since last year, that the theme for this year's convention is going to be beyond expectation. And when God says that is the theme, He has the capacity to bring it to fulfillment. So when God says He's going to surprise us beyond expectation, as children of God and as believers, our responsibility and duties is to key into it. One of the major take-home for me as a person was at yesterday's ministers' conference, when our Father in the Lord was teaching us from the book of Psalm 24. Who shall ascend unto the hills of the Lord, he that hath a cleanness and a pure heart, who has not lifted up his soul unto vanity, and He taught us extensively on the places that you can access when you have a clean hands and a pure heart, the several mountains that you can climb. And yesterday we were able to climb, Mount Carmel. And one major take home for me when Daddy was saying, look, we have seen the fire. It is time for us to see the rain. I've seen the fire, but now we want to see the rain. We want the rain, and it is very, very key, because He also told us that, when Ahab was feasting, Elijah was fasting. So we have been called to the mountaintop, not to feast, but to live a life of impact, so that, we can access those mountains that we have been called, to climb. So a lot of take home for us at this year's convention, but we are trusting God particularly that this year's convention, the theme beyond expectations of this 71st annual convention, is not just an ordinary theme. Daddy told us yesterday, and He has said it today again, that God is about to do what anybody never expects. even beyond our expectation. And that is why, even if you are not yet at the campground right now, I want to advise you, I want to encourage you. Today is day 2 of the convention. Please, wherever you are, join us at this year's convention, and I'm sure that your life will never remain the same.
Yes, so it's been a wonderful time with Pastor Alaka Kayode, one of the ordainees today. He has been ordained as an assistant pastor in the Redeemed Christian Church of God. And as you've heard from him, he has said this is not just a title, but an added responsibility. And that is just the take home, that is the major word for all the ordainees today. It is not just, of course the title comes with some honor and glamour, but beyond the title, there is responsibility. There are things that are expected of everyone that has been ordained, and we give God all the glory. It's our prayer for everyone that has been ordained today, that the Lord will continue to strengthen each one to do greater things for God.
Unwavering. The season, the time, the moment you need to trust God more is here as you join the annual convention of the Redeemed Christian Church of God with the theme Beyond Expectations. Date is 7th to 13th of August 2023. Venue is Kilometer 46 Lagos Ibadan Expressway, Ogun State, Nigeria. Ministering is Pastor E.A. Adeboye and other ministers of God. And he will answer you beyond your expectations.